Aya Wilson is more than a basketball player. She's a cultural force, a standard-bearer, and an icon in the making, a living testament to what happens when talent is molded by resilience and polished with purpose. In the landscape of women's basketball, Wilson doesn't just shine, she redefines. Her game isn't built solely on skill, though she has plenty. It's constructed on impact, on how she changes the air in the gym, the tone of a season, and the legacy of a league. Form Star Hub, which highlights those shaping the modern sports world in powerful, lasting ways. Few profiles are more deserving of reflection than that of Aya Riyadh Wilson. Born on August 8, 1996, in Columbia, South Carolina, Aya entered the world with hoops in her blood and history in her heart. Her father, Roscoe Wilson, was a basketball standout overseas. Her family's name already carried weight in their community, but Aya's rise was about to add gravity to that legacy. From the beginning, she was different. Not just in height, though that helped, but in how she embraced pressure. At Heathwood Hall Episcopal School, she dominated despite being a late starter compared to her peers. She turned raw promise into polished dominance with an almost quiet certainty, as if the future already knew her name and was just waiting for the world to catch up. By the time she graduated, Aya was the top high school prospect in the nation, courted by every powerhouse program in the country. But she chose to stay home and attend the University of South Carolina, a decision that would alter the trajectory of the Gamecocks program and elevate head coach Dawn Staley's already rising legend. Wilson's arrival in Columbia wasn't just a recruiting win. It was the birth of a new era. From her freshman year onward, Wilson was an anchor. Her interior presence was commanding. She was a walking double-double, a paint protector, a high IQ player, and an emotional compass for her team. But more than anything, she was a winner. With Aya leading the charge, the Gamecocks evolved from contenders to champions. In 2017, South Carolina captured its first NCAA Women's Basketball Championship, and Aya was at the center of it all. Her scoring, rebounding, and leadership defined that title run, but it was her humility after the final buzzer that spoke volumes. This was not just about her. It was about her team, her school, her coach, and every little black girl who needed to see that dreams in sneakers were valid. Over her 4 years at South Carolina, Aya collected accolades like rebounds, effortlessly and frequently. She was a 3-time SEC Player of the Year, a consensus All-American, and the 2018 National Player of the Year. Her number 22 jersey would eventually be retired by the Gamecocks, hanging in the rafters as a reminder of what excellence looks like when it chooses to serve something bigger than itself. When Aya declared for the WNBA draft in 2018, there was no doubt she would go number 1 overall. The Las Vegas Aces selected her first, and with that pick came hope, pressure, and expectation. The franchise was in transition, and Aya was tasked not just with putting up numbers, but with being the face of a new chapter. She didn't flinch. She flourished. In her rookie season, Wilson averaged 20.7 points and 8 rebounds, earning Rookie of the Year honors. Her game translated immediately to the professional level. She was efficient, fluid, and composed, with a soft shooting touch, a relentless motor, and a defensive intuition that made her a two-way threat. But more than that, she brought joy to the game, a radiant, fearless energy that made her a fan favorite from day one. Her signature smile, her sense of humor, her openness with the media, these weren't distractions from her talent, they were extensions of her leadership. Aya wasn't just performing. She was building. As the years progressed, so did her dominance. By 2020, Aya was the league's MVP, leading the Aces to the WNBA Finals with averages of 20.5 points, 8.5 rebounds, and elite defensive prowess. Her footwork, mid-range shooting, and low-post versatility had blossomed. She was now not just the future of the league, she was its present. And she did it all while navigating a pandemic, speaking out against racial injustice, and helping steer the league into a new age of athlete activism. One of Aya's most striking qualities is her emotional intelligence. She leads with empathy. She communicates clearly. And she knows when to listen. In the WNBA, where locker rooms are filled with Olympians and All-Stars, respect isn't handed out, it's earned. Aya earned it not just through her stats but through her presence. She leads with laughter, compassion, and an authenticity that can't be faked. She brings her whole self to the game, and in doing so, gives her teammates permission to do the same. In 2022, Aya claimed her second MVP trophy, leading the Aces to a historic WNBA championship. The title was Las Vegas' first and was a culmination of years of growth, frustration, learning, and perseverance. Alongside a star-studded roster and under the leadership of coach Becky Hammon, Aya became a finals MVP and a face of the league's golden era. She wasn't just a star anymore. She was a symbol of excellence, of evolution, of what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Off the court, Wilson has created a brand of authenticity and influence that stretches far beyond basketball. She's written a memoir. She's launched the Aya Wilson Foundation to support children who struggle with dyslexia, a condition she herself was diagnosed with in childhood. She's used her social media to engage in real-time conversations about mental health, racial equity, and body positivity. She's walked runways, graced magazine covers, and signed endorsement deals, not as a celebrity, but as a woman with something to say. For all her accolades, it's Aya's balance that truly stands out. She competes with fire but never loses her cool. She takes the game seriously but doesn't take herself too seriously. She's focused on legacy, not just longevity. And in a sport often overlooked, she's helping change the narrative. Whether it's through her dazzling footwork in the post or her unwavering support for social causes, Aya Wilson is rewriting the definition of what it means to be a professional athlete in the 21st century. Her story is still being written, but what's already been penned is nothing short of remarkable. A two-time WNBA MVP, a Finals MVP, an Olympic gold medalist, a world champion, a college legend, a social advocate, a beacon of joy, a voice of reason, a model of consistency. But perhaps what makes Aya Wilson truly unforgettable is the space she creates for others. For her teammates to thrive. For young girls to dream. For fans to feel seen. For communities to feel heard. She doesn't just elevate her game, she elevates the game. Every possession, every interview, every post, every play. She's building a legacy that stretches beyond box scores and banners. In an age where flash often trumps fundamentals, Aya is a reminder that there's power in mastering the basics. That leadership isn't about volume but value. That greatness isn't just about how high you climb, but how many you lift along the way. She is the rare player who makes everyone around her better, not by demanding it, but by demonstrating it. With every block, every board, every bucket, Aya is reminding us all what greatness truly looks like. She stands as both a mirror and a beacon, reflecting the best of the sport while lighting the way for what's next. And make no mistake, what's next for Aya Wilson is likely more championships, more honors, and more history. But she's not chasing headlines. She's chasing meaning. If you've watched her dominate and wondered how she does it, if you've felt the energy change when she's on the floor, if you've seen the way she celebrates others before herself, then don't let this story end here. Like this to honor a leader whose game speaks louder than any words. Share with someone who understands the beauty of balance, between power and grace, between fire and finesse. Subscribe to Star Hub for more stories about legends in the making, like Aya Wilson. See you next time.